Hello everyone. So today we're going to be doing an impressions video about Extended Cultures 5, which is indeed a very cool mod. It is the successor to Extended Cultures 4, but it's very different. It goes a lot farther than those previous Extended Cultures mods, I would say. So Extended Cultures, I believe, started out as a project expanding the Extended Greek mod, which focused on making the Greek factions more fleshed out in Rome Total War, the original Rome Total War. And this mod and the Extended Cultures mods essentially take that to the next level. So they take it to the other factions. And Extended Cultures 5 actually adds new cultures, and I will indeed show you that. So it also has provincial campaigns. So there's a 49 BC campaign. There's a few others that allow like faction swapping, like there's the Galatian Migration one, the Tales of Tuhara one. And I haven't had a chance to try all of them. But indeed, the main one is 275 BC from Beneventum to Actium. And so as you can see, most of the... this is on the Mundus Magnus map. Or a variation of it. And indeed, there are new factions and new faction symbols for factions that could use new faction symbols, like the Seleucids. This is the Bactrian symbol. The Armenian faction symbol is new. And I have to say, there's the Greek city-states, which are not playable. There are the Romans. So as you can see, when you mouse over all the factions, it says culture, and then it talks about what kind of culture that is, right? So if we go to Pontus, for example, it says Eastern, civilized, can upgrade to huge cities, cannot build farm upgrade level 5, and it talks about the several specific cultural buildings it gets. Right, and it talks about the roster strength. So Extended Cultures 5 really goes way beyond any other mod, really, in terms of the building system. Like, I'd say it might even be beyond Europa Barbarorum. But let's mouse over Bactria as well. So it says culture, Hellenistic Greek, and then it says uncivilized culture. Can upgrade to huge city, cannot upgrade farm to farms level 5. And it has access to non-elite phalangites. And it's really interesting. And a lot of these factions have reforms, military reforms as well. Rome has extensive reforms. Bactria has extensive reforms. You get access to Indo-Greek units once you get the Bactrian reforms. The Seleucids have nice reforms, so more reforms than Europa Barbarorum. So the Seleucids get legionary style heavy infantry and cataphracts after their reforms. Armenia has weak early infantry units, but then after reforms it gets access to better infantry. Basically every faction has been fleshed out to some degree, and you have nomadic factions as well. So you also get a couple of interesting factions that you don't see too often. One of those is Gandhara. Gandhara. So let's actually start a game as Gandhara so I can show you exactly what I'm talking about here. So Gandhara is essentially Extended Cultures 5's version of the India faction in Europa Barbarorum 2. So in Europa Barbarorum 2, you have Taxashila representing the Mauryan Empire, or a satrapy of the Mauryan Empire at this time. And in Extended Cultures 5, it's actually called Gandhara, which, you know what, I think might be a better name. But in any case, so the script activates automatically. which is an excellent benefit of Extended Cultures 5, because, sometimes you forget, right? And in any case, religion, the religion system in Rome Total War has been replaced here, and it's used for culture. So, for example, if we take a look at the culture here, it's Eastern civilized, right? So indeed, Gandhara is very interesting. Let me show you how extensive this building system is. So you can see there's the governor's palace, that's regular, Rome Total War governor's palace, but then you have native culture Indian. And this gives you the ability to train Indian spearmen, and it affects your taxation capability, and it affects the cultural influence, civil unrest reduction, depending on who controls it. Minus 4% local inflation, Gandhara only. So for some factions, like for, let's say, I don't know, for the Gauls, if the Gauls came here and conquered Taxila, they would have a really hard time due to this native culture building. There's also Persian settlements. So this is a Persian colony. So again, it's kind of similar to EB2. It's definitely more in-depth with its building system than Europa Barbarorum 1, which is already very in-depth. But in Extended Cultures 5, you've got colony buildings, native culture buildings, and you have multiple colony buildings in different cities. So Taxila, for example, has Hellenic colony or Hellenistic colony and Persian colony. So to some degree, Hellenistic factions like the Seleucids or Bactria can take control of Taxila, but also Parthia. Parthia, if they take Taxila, then, there was the historical Indo-Greek kingdom. And, those colonies make it easier in terms of controlling it as that particular faction. But, again, not as good as a native Indian faction controlling it, and the only Indian one is Gandhara in this mod. But then you also have agricultural buildings. And so this shows you how the land is being developed. So you can have a pastoralism, you can have nomadism, you can have this one, cultivated hinterland with free farmer society and economy. So these are very in-depth systems here. And local factional government, Eastern civilized. And then there's subsistence tribal society, agro-pastoral tribal society. There's a lot of unique buildings in Extended Cultures 5 as well. I'd say the thing that sets Extended Cultures 5 apart from any other mod really is it's the most in-depth building system, indeed, of any mod I've seen for Rome Total War. And there are so many of these unique buildings spread out across the map, like the Learning Center of Taxila. And I'll show a couple more factions and talk about their buildings as well, because there's just so much here. And I haven't even gotten into the units and the battles or anything. But, local factional government. Wonder declaration, so I guess you can build another wonder here. I haven't played as Gandhara, so again, this is why this is an impressions video, because there's so much to this mod, really. And there's, of course, the Indian city barracks. Indian forester unit there. And it gives you access to a whole lot of other units as well. So let's talk about the unit rosters, really. So the all the rosters here in this mod are very well developed. So because of the Hellenistic colony, you do have access to some Hellenistic type units, like this Bactrian infantry here, which is sort of hoplite influenced, but it's more like an Eastern spearman unit with a little bit of influence. Bactrian cavalry, Indian spearmen, slingers. This immigrants unit is meant to show how people might resettle populations in different places, so you can train these immigrant units, and they're not for fighting. You just take them to another settlement and you disband them, and that's how you use the Indian immigrants unit to move populations to where you want. And also, the traits in Extended Cultures 5 are very cool, and the ancillaries. I haven't seen all of them yet, but there are a lot of ethnic traits such as a good, dutiful Indian, which gives unique bonuses, +1 command, +1 management, +1 Eastern civilized cultural influence. And but there are so many buildings here. It's pretty incredible. Reservation. So a piece of land that's becomes forbidden for the public, and it's used for recruiting or building certain buildings that require a certain amount of land to be set aside. Right? There's so many new buildings, like besides public baths, you have latrines. And actually, these building cards, sometimes Rome Total War just does this. It's not a fault of the mod. There's river transport buildings, a grain tax office, so many unique buildings indeed. So even when you start out the game, usually when you start out a game of Rome Total War, like except in EB1 maybe, or Rome Total Realism 7, you start out with just a few buildings, right? But in this mod, you start out with a whole ton of buildings. Just a ton. Oh, there's also the Gopadri Temple in Kashmir, another unique building. So this is just incredible in terms of the work with the buildings here. But I want to show you a couple other factions. And the loading screens. These are my favorite loading screens in any mod. I think these loading screens are great. But in any case, what faction did I want to show? Let's go with Pontus. Let's show an Eastern faction that's not Indian. There's also the unique Tukhara faction. I'll show you the map in just a moment. Actually, I'll reveal the map right now. Spoiler alert. So you'll notice that the map has unique textures, and these are not the textures. These are not Roma Surrectum 2 environment textures. These are the Vegemod textures. They're very good, and they don't hit performance as hard as well. So I have to say, the settlements and how the map is balanced is very good. I would say it's better than a lot of other mods I've seen. It's very, very well done indeed. But in any case, what did I want to show here? But the units here, like, look at this Eastern infantry. Very cool. Very cool looking. It looks pretty similar to... it's just very cool looking. It's much more modern looking than the basic Rome Total War Eastern infantry. The units are very well done. This mod is done by Suppanut and Lanjane. So, the units in this mod are also very excellent. They look very nice. And I have to say, the units are also very well done in this mod indeed. But I want to show a couple of new things on this map that are not really in a lot of other mods. Or in any other mods, really. So, in Europa Barbarorum, you have the Saka faction up here in Central Asia. And instead, in Extended Cultures 5, you have the Tukharans. So I don't believe they're playable. but I could be mistaken. The Gandharans are playable, but maybe not the Tukharans. But in any case, this faction, Tukhara, kind of represents the Tokharian kingdoms in Central Asia, the Saka kingdoms and tribes in Central Asia, also the Yuezhi invasion that happens later. So these people can become like the Indo-Saka eventually. So I like it. It's like a hybrid, kind of an amalgam faction here, because there are so many cultures around here. The Tokharian kingdoms are so interesting. You've got several different types of Saka, not only the Saka Rauka from Europa Barbarorum, and the Yuezhi, of course, that come later with the Yuezhi invasion. So in any case, and here's Bactria. I like their color here. It's more toned down. And indeed, all the factions, except for Tukhara here, but I believe they're scripted to become a little more powerful later. They start out with a few settlements, so we can take a look. Pontus and Gandhara are actually, I think, the smallest ones with just 2 settlements. So if you look at other factions like the Greeks here, they have 3 or 4. You've got Epirus, which is not playable, which has 3. You've got Armenia with 3. So in other mods, a lot of those factions start out with just 1 settlement. You've got the Thracians with 3. So a lot of those factions start out with just 1 settlement. But in terms of the AI, so let's just take a tour quickly to check out the textures here. So they look very nice. They're not as heavy as the Roma Surrectum 2 textures. So some people might prefer the Roma Surrectum 2 textures, but Extended Cultures 2 is such a technically advanced mod that I don't know if it could have handled the Roma Surrectum 2 textures and campaign map textures on top of all the advanced things and the scripting and the extensive, the amazing building system on top of all those textures. But in any case, let's take a look at the buildings for Pontus here, because in any case, the buildings for Gandhara are a little bit unique, since it's a more unique faction than Pontus here. But so you have native culture Cappadocian, very cool, because of course the native culture, the people of Pontus were Cappadocian, Iranianized Cappadocians. And so that gives the basic Sparabara unit, native culture Cappadocia. Very nice picture of Cappadocia there. Yeah, so Eastern factions, Persian factions, or Achaemenid influenced factions like Armenia can construct the highest level of military infrastructure here, but a faction like, I don't know, let's say Sarmatia or the Numidians might not be able to. Carthage. You've got a Hellenic colony here, because of course there were colonies up near Pontus on the Black Sea coast, right? And again, local factional government that helps. And you've got very different types of mines in this mod. So you've got Fire Set Shafts mines complex in Pontus, but in Gandhara it was a different kind of mining complex. So, and of course here we've got ruralized hinterland with estate economy and society. So there's so many different kinds of buildings here. It's great. And of course I don't know everything about everything in the mod because there's so much. And there's the tombs in Themyscira, unique building. What else do I have to say? There's a farmer's market. But let's take a look at Rome. I never take a look at Rome. So this time I'm going to take a look at Rome. I know people always ask me to do Rome and I never do. So this is for those people. I just want to check quickly, is Tuchara playable here? Because I forgot. Epirus. Yeah, Epirus is not playable, so I was correct there. Yeah, no, it seems like Tuchara is not playable. So they just kind of represent the nomadic, semi-nomadic factions and settled Tocharian kingdoms that existed in Central Asia there. So that's a good thing. It's good that they're there. So let's start as Rome here. So let's take a look here. So Rome starts at war with, there's a couple of these, italic cities that are not Roman that were at war with Rome, right? So Suppanut has made them into their own separate minor faction so that they actually behave more aggressively against the Romans, which I think is good. And let's take a look at Rome here. So native culture Roman. Cultivated hinterland with free farmer society. So I think that was the same as the Gandharan one, maybe. You got the Capitoline Temple of Jupiter, which is very cool. You've got the Roman barracks. You've got the Forum. The Temple of Vesta. Grain tax office, port, craftsman community. Yeah, so again, everyone gets unique buildings. It's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing indeed. And I have to say the Roman units in this mod look very cool. Actually, and of course the game starts out with your battle with Pyrrhus here. So you know what? Let's fight him actually. Let's showcase some of the battles here. Wow, I haven't fought as the Romans in so long. But again, look at these loading screens. I really like them. I think they really fit in with the style of the mod. I know that there are a lot of people that clamor for campaign depth in Total War, but maybe they don't like the way Europa Barbarorum does it. Well, in any case, there is Extended Cultures 5 here, which I would say is a little more stable than EB in a lot of ways. So let's take a look at the units here. Again, very nice units. Samnite, Spearman there. Principes. I want to find our Hastati. Yeah, the Hastati. And again, these environments are not the Roma Surrectum ones. So we've got some slingers here. And Velites, the javelinman. I'm just doing this to showcase the mod here. So let's just make a battle line. I've got some equities. Let's show off our cavalry here. So, yeah, very nice looking general there. And the equities look nice as well. And again, there are extensive military reforms in Extended Cultures 5. So, indeed, it's very good. Very cool. Did I move my Velite somewhere else? In any case, oh yeah, I did. In any case, let's move our battle line forward. Again, this is just to showcase the units and the battle system and things like that. But yeah, so the environments are very, very lovely looking, I have to say. They're very nice. You've got Vesuvius there in the background, erupting. But indeed, look at the grass. It's very nice looking. I like it a lot. And the trees are good. Like, I would say it's just as pleasing as the Roma Surrectum environments. They're very pleasing indeed. And in terms of battle balance, the battles are definitely they're a bit slower. They're made slower than vanilla Rome Total War. I believe about 20% slower. Oh, and before I forget, in Extended Cultures 5, when you're running the installer, which is very nicely done, I have to say, when you're installing Extended Cultures 5, you have access to several options as you install. So it's almost similar to the stainless steel setup exe. And not that the stainless steel installer has those options, but Extended Cultures 5 does give you a bunch of options. So you can make, there's a Seleucid Satrapies option, so you make factions like Bactria behave like Seleucid Satrapies from the start, and it activates different sort of campaign scripts, right? And all in all, this is just a very well done mod. Suppanut, the main creator, who worked on a lot of the traits and things like that, he has mentioned that the trait system that he wants to include still has not been fully implemented. So he wants to include very, very in-depth traits and really utilize the Rome Total War trait system to its full extent, just like how he has pushed the building system to a bit beyond its full extent, really. If you think about it, oh, and the other thing is when you mouse over your units, you can see morale and fatigue as bars there, so it's pretty cool. I actually think that's cool. It is a little intrusive, but there is a way to turn that off, indeed. So don't think it's mandatory to have those. Similar to the Barbarian Empires mod, which I will be looking at because it will be receiving a big update soon. So I'll be glad to take a look at that soon as well. I know some people have been asking for me to take a look at that. But indeed, let's take a look at Pyrrhus here. Oh, I forgot. I wanted to make the camera free for this video, but I forgot because I want to showcase units, and having a free camera makes it easier to do that. So let's take a look at the grass for a minute. Nice grass, huh? Yeah. So, I mean, after playing Rome 2 quite a bit for that review, you can definitely see the difference in graphical quality. But I have to say, the grass here looks very nice. Looks very nice. And I still love the Rome Total War, Rome 1 Total War battle system. I have to say, it's my favorite battle system, indeed. I don't know why I keep saying indeed. I've been saying it in the comments a lot too. I don't know why. Indeed. So let's fast forward this. Let's see some action. Between the Romans and Pyrrhus here. But in any case, yeah, I'll probably show this battle and then, oh, that's an enemy unit. Okay, General, go get the Tarentine cavalry, please. Yeah, so battles here, they're faster than other mods like Roma Surrectum and Europa Barbarorum. But they're slower than vanilla. So again, it's another mod that kind of does it in between, right? So there are a lot of mods that try to find a balance. Oscan cavalry. And again, yeah, unit rosters in Extended Cultures 5 are very nice indeed, I have to say. And the units look very nice too. Don't think for a second that this mod is just focused on the incredible building system, because it's not. It's focused on everything. Let's have everyone move up slowly. Our equities are not doing very well against the Oscan cavalry, so let's charge them from the back with our Roman general here. And there we go. I have to remember to think like a Roman general here and use my infantry more heavily than my cavalry. Of course, I rarely play Rome, so that's something I have to learn to do. And you know, even the faction symbol has changed, so I like that. It's not the usual Roman faction symbol that a lot of mods utilize. Okay, so Pyrrhus, and I like the length of the spears in this mod. Like lances and things, they are very long, sufficiently long. I think historically long. So I really like the devotion to historical accuracy in this mod, indeed. Like maybe it's just me, but I don't think I've seen another mod with pikes this long. Maybe EB? I don't know. I'm not sure. Some Cretan archer mercenaries, some Epirote Agema phalanxes. Nice shield there. Okay, so my units are mostly fresh now. Oh, so he's got some Celtic swordsmen. I like how diverse the units are, too. Because, you know, these armies were diverse. Indeed. So Epirus didn't... I said indeed again. What's wrong with me? But, yeah, Pyrrhus's army was very... he was using forces from all over the place. So, very good job by the Extended Cultures team in that regard. We've got some Italic infantry here. Basic non-Roman Italic troops there. Who else is there? Let's get these guys to set up over here. Oh, you've got the elephants there. Asian war elephants. Let's move our slingers closer so they actually fire. And I guess with the velites I'll maybe throw some javelins at the Celtic swordsmen. And I'll keep my general close by. But again, with these new environments, everything looks pretty nice in this mod, I have to say. So let's keep it going here. Okay, so our Principes have engaged with their Samnites. Okay, so the generals... What's going on here? Oh, elephants. Yeah, let's throw our javelins at these elephants here. That's the only way we'll be able to do some damage, I think, against those guys. Oh, man. Yeah, elephants in this mod are tossing people around everywhere. That guy still didn't come down. Yeah, that's not good. Oh my goodness. Maybe I'll lose because of them. This is my first time playing as Rome in this mod. Okay, we threw some javelins. And that didn't work. Where are the velites? You're supposed to skirmish. Okay, let's hit the general's bodyguard. Let's get Pyrrhus. Maybe that'll cause a mass rout here. But yeah, these elephants are insane. Wow. They are unhappy due to exhaustion. Our Triarii are not very effective against them either. Throw javelins. Velites, can you throw javelins at these war elephants, please? I haven't gotten any of them. Okay, we got Pyrrhus. Or we're getting him. Oh, and we got him. Now let's get these Rhodian slingers here. Okay, I got one elephant. Yeah, these elephants are just tossing everyone around like candy. Oh, we got another elephant, so perhaps... Oh, and they're routing. They're routing. Excellent. Okay, Triarii Spearmen. Let's try to surround these elephants here. We're starting to get them. Let's chase down these guys here. Yeah, excellent job, infantry. Yeah, it's so good when your infantry is just so much better. We got the elephants. So let's chase down these guys. So I was actually afraid I was going to lose here, but I didn't. Yeah, let's leave the elephants alone. But yeah, those elephants, they caused some problems. Let's just fast forward the end of this battle here, while taking a look at the nice environments. I think that's good enough. Pyrrhus has had enough here. A rather Pyrrhic defeat. Okay. So yeah, there was the battle preview here in Extended Cultures 5. So again, as you can see, even the environments, there are more environments too. So you can see there's bare rock, sparse woodland. So everything in this mod is just taking Rome 1 to the next level. Native culture, Etruscan. So there's even cultures that are not just the basic major faction cultures here, like Eastern or whatever. There's Etruscan, other minor cultures as well. Stationary garrisoning. Yeah, it's just a really cool mod. So that's pretty much all I have to say about Extended Cultures 5 for now. These are my impressions. You can get the mod in the description below if you join the Rome Total War Community Discord. You can talk to the mod creators, Suppanut and Lanjane, and the mod developers. And yeah, you can get the mod from the link in the description below to the Extended Cultures Total War Center subforum. I'll also put the mod DB link as well where you can go to download the mod directly. But in any case, I hope you all enjoyed this impressions video, because as you can see, this mod is just massive. Like, one last thing, if you open the building browser, there's so many buildings that Rome Total War just overloads. There are even buildings that are not available here. So yeah, indeed, and there are a lot of descriptions here, so you can get a lot of the descriptions, but there are still some buildings that there's just no room for them here. So there is a README. If you if you download the mod, it also installs a README, so you'll be able to read about a lot of the buildings there as well. Indian Ocean Trade Network. Man, this mod just takes the buildings beyond any other mod, really. So yeah, I'm glad to show this mod to you. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoy my videos about Rome 1 mods. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next video.